The new Black Wall Street. Do it right, build wealth, build life, economic empowerment, real tips, insight on the new Black Wall Street. It's on the new Black Wall Street. Here's your host.
All right, good morning to you billionaires. Thanks so much for joining us here this morning on this wonderful, terrific, this terrific Tuesday. This is the Money and Power Show. I'm your host, ERGJ, your certified financial educator, CEO of ERGJ Enterprise and ERGJ Black Bazaar, international best-selling author of the book, The Black Billionaires Club, which comes with the premise that if you want to be wealthy, you should study wealthy people. If you want to be broke, study broke people. But if you want to be wealthy, you want to be rich, be wealthy, successful, study rich, wealthy, successful people. And do what they do, follow what they follow, all that good stuff. I am want to invite you guys to hit the like button, the share button, and invite button, that watch party button. Let people know that we're here. We got black folk talking about money in the markets in the morning. And we want to invite as many brothers and sisters as we can so that we can teach and then they can learn about this thing called money. We got a wonderful show set up for you guys. Well, if you could just let me know what city, what state you're connected from, what city, what state you're connecting from. We'll get right into this thing. We're broadcasting right here from ERGJ Studios out of Atlanta, Georgia. Decatur, to be specific, Decatur where it's greater. Love to know where you're connected from as well. Black folk talking about money and the markets in the morning. We got a wonderful show set up for you today, guys. We'll be, I think we'll be covering the 16th largest black-owned business in America. We'll take a look at our billionaire breakdown of the day. We got a couple articles. We'll be covering some black CEOs, a multi-million-dollar MAVEN, and then also a multi-million-dollar brother or inventor as well. We'll be covering that today as well. And then if I have time, I got to go to a career day today. So if I have time, we'll break down. We'll go into the Dow. We'll take a look at Intel today. Take a look at Intel today. Again, hit the like button, the share button, the watch party button. Let people know that we're here. Am I my brother's keeper? Yes. Am I my sister's keeper? Yes. Well, my brothers and my sisters, we got some problems when it comes to money. So why not be a good keeper and let them know that we can help them out this morning? The Black Money and Power Show, black people, black folk talking about money and the markets in the morning. Well, let's get right into this thing, guys. I don't want to take up too much of your time. I got to go. I got to move. Let's start with our Black-owned business spotlight. Our Black-owned business spotlight is going to take a look here at from BE Black Enterprise. They do a good job every year of bringing out our top 100 black-owned businesses. We're just going through them one by one, guys. We have Global Automotive Alliance Corporation. Global Automotive Alliance Corporation. That's going to be number 16 on the charts. Number 16 on the charts. You know the pop charts, you know the business charts. They're going to be out of Detroit, Michigan. The CEO is a man named Mr. William F. Pickard. Automotive Parts. They employ over 1,700 people. And then in 2017, it made about $255 million, okay? $255 million in revenue. The Global Automotive Alliance Corporation. So I'm going to take a look and find out what they are. I said, I'm going to come right on over here to the CEO. Here is your brother, Mr. William F. Pickard. He's a PhD. He's the founder and chairman of Global Automotive Alliance Manufacturing Supply Chain. Mr. William Pickard is a founder and chairman of GAA Manufacturing Supply Chain Management. He's a Black Enterprise Top 100 Industrial Service Company. GAA was distinguished as the first minority-owned vendor group to supply plastic parts to Detroit's big three automakers. So again, another MBE or minority business certified business. And they supply plastic parts to the big automakers. That's where he got. That's where they built their business at. Like this is the old school, right? I guess this is him in the middle. Yeah, that's him with the glasses. A bit of a businessman. Pickard's 46-year entrepreneur career began in 1971 when the Flint, Michigan native established himself as a McDonald's Group's franchisee in Detroit. An opportunity born during a conversation with a company executive. Pickard says with another conversation, this one with Henry Ford II, that steered him away from his investments into auto dealerships and toward those with automotive supply chain opportunities. Here's Mr. Pickard. I guess he's probably doing some type of training or something like that. Behind the wheel, driving GAA forward in 1989, Pickard founded an automotive manufacturing company and grew it into Global Automotive Alliance, a consolidation of logistics and manufacturing companies with more than $500 million in sales and 8 plants in the United States and Canada. The GAA became the first minority-owned group of Tier 1 and Tier 2 suppliers of plastic parts to the top 3 U.S. automakers, Ford, General Motors, and Fiat Chrysler. GA has also supplied other global giants such as Boeing and Mercedes-Benz, Delphi, Johnson Controls, Starbucks, Home Depot, and Merck Pharmaceuticals. Prep for power. The man who measures his success by the number of people he has taught, mentored, and championed. Pickard prepared himself to be a power broker by focusing first on his formal education. He began at Flint Mott College, earning an associate's degree in 1962, earned a bachelor's of science from Western Michigan University in 1964, a master's in MSW, Masters of, I don't know what MSW stands for, from the University of Michigan in 1965, and culminated with an earned PhD from the Ohio State University in 1971. He also holds an honorary doctorate in business administration from Cleary College, awarded in 1980. Pickard was the first chairman of the African Development Foundation, appointed by President Ronald Reagan. Wow. Under President George Bush, he was appointed to the National Advisory Committee on Trade Policy Negotiations in 1990 and the Federal Home Loan Bank Board, Indianapolis Bank in Indiana in 1991. Wow. Okay. There's Mr. Pickard teaching, training, educating. In 2001, the Detroit named Mr. Pickard as Michiganian of the Year for his business success, civic leadership, and philanthropy. The William F. Pickard Living Center at Grand Valley State University, where he served on the board for 11 years, is named in his honor. You guys want to have a room or something like that named after you. And the Dr. William F. Pickard Business Scholarship supports first-generation students at the institution. Pickard has also served as the community on numerous businesses and nonprofit boards, including Asset Acceptance Capital Corporation, Michigan National Bank, LaSalle Bank, business leaders for Michigan, National Urban League, Detroit Symphony Orchestra, and Detroit Black Chamber of Commerce. Wow. He's done a lot. Okay. So Mr. Pickard is the CEO of the 16th largest Black-owned business in America that nobody's talking about, except here, right here, on the Money and Power Show. Let's take a look at the businesses real quick, see what the business is. So they're a global end-to-end logistics company, inspire people, driven by technology, supported by logistics. Solutions fit any size. In today's business environment, for your supply chain has to reach customers on a global scale, sourcing in one country, manufacturing in another, and delivery to a third. GA has a global network of resources to meet your supply chain opportunities and rise to the challenge. We rely on rigorous, proven processes and driven, passionate employees to deliver measurable results to our clients across the range of industries from aerospace to pharmaceuticals. GA will meet your challenges head on with reliable results. I even like the website. Website's pretty up-to-date, standard. I mean, nice up-to-date website. Doesn't look old. Okay. So GAA, Global, I still don't know what it stands for. Global something. So Sylvester Hester is the president and CEO of GA. He's the chairman and founder. So Hester runs the company now. Pickard owns the company. All right. And the 16th largest Black-owned business in America. And they're in plastic supply. And it looks like they're manufacturing supply chain management. Okay. Wow. The things we get to see here on the Money and Power Show. All right. So that's going to be our Black-owned business spotlight. Global Automotive Alliance Corporation. Black CEO William Pickard. Let's take a look at our billionaire breakdown of the day. Number 36, 36th richest person in the world today. 36th richest person in the world today, Joseph Safra. I don't know who that is. Joseph Safra, his net worth at this point in time is $25.2 billion. His net worth. It means he owns $25.2 billion more stuff than he owes. His net worth, $25.2 billion. Find out a little bit about Mr. Joseph Safra. He's a descendant of a banking family from Syria. Is the world's richest banker. Okay. Joseph Safra came from a banking family, and he's now the world's richest banker. Okay. In Brazil, he owns Banco Safra, the country's 8th largest bank, while in Switzerland, he owns J. Safra Cybersign, a bank created in a merger in 2013. His oldest son, Jacob, is responsible, keeping in the family, by putting console, keeping in the family. His oldest son, Jacob, is responsible for J. Safra Cybersign, Safra National Bank of New York, and real estate holders across the United States. His other two sons, David and Alberto, managed Banco Safra in Brazil. Keep it in the family. Generation after generation after generation after generation. Right? What's going on, Mr. Ryan Scott? Thanks so much for joining. He also owns 50% of banana grower Chiquita. So y'all like Chiquita. He owns 50% of the bananas, those banana grower. Chiquita Brand International. The other 50% is owned by Brazilian orange juice billionaire Jose Cutral. So I guess they went in and they bought it or they started. I'm not quite sure. He's 80 years old. He's married, got 4 children. He's keeping the inheritance in the family. The children are working or running the companies now. His brother, Moise Safra, a billionaire. Oh, okay. Lived in Brazil and died in 2014. The two have been partners until Jacob bought Moise's stake in Banco Safra in 2006. His brother, Edmund Safra, a billionaire banker. Okay. He died in 1999 in a fire in his apartment in Monaco under suspicious circumstance. Uh-oh. Suspicious circumstance. Anyway, his brother was a billionaire. His other brother was a billionaire. He's a billionaire. They came from a banking family. And, yeah, I mean, when you're wealthy, you can teach wealth, right? When you're poor, you can teach poor. That's kind of what I'm starting to see as we continue to move forward. I mean, the rich teach their children how to be rich. The poor teach their children how to be poor. You only can teach what you know, I guess. That's how it works, I guess. That's it. I mean, it's just in the family. I mean, don't you think that they were raised different, they were taught different, they think different, they act different. They're different. And they're different. Their differences happen to make them billionaires. Of course, the father had a lot to do with it. You know, passing something down to them that they could then run and had to go get no job ever. Their job is to run the family business. Pretty cool. It's my first. Anybody ever heard of Joseph Safra before? This is my first time. And I studied this stuff. 36. He's the 36th richest person in the world today. 36th richest person in the world. All right, let's take a look at another millionaire. I found this article to be very interesting. We got a millionaire, multi-million-dollar MAVEN. Multi-million-dollar MAVEN. This comes out of Black Enterprise and Women in Power. Her name is MAHISHA DELLINGER. And she is a beauty maven. This is her right here. All 100% goddess of herself. Oh my goodness. Woo, Lord. Let's read this article. How does one go from growing up? Wait a second. How does one grow? Okay, there we go. How does one grow growing up in a rough neighborhood, crime, drugs, gangs, to founding one of the and pioneering natural hair care brands in the $2.5 billion African-American hair care market? Over the past 15 years, MAHISHA DELLINGER has built curls from formulas she was making in her garage, home-based business. 15 years. She started a home-based business, and 15 years later, she's a multimillionaire. I don't know if that don't inspire somebody right now. I don't know what to tell you, because I got a home-based business. How many guys got a home-based business right now? Home-based business. And your home-based business is actually something that you produce, by the way. You're creating something. I know some of you guys got a home-based business connected to another home-based business and all this stuff. Well, how many guys got a home-based business that you got a product that you create? And you say, man, hold up a second. MAHISHA DELLINGER, she started a home-based business to in the hair care industry. And then 15 years later, she's a multi-millionaire. Oh, that's pretty inspiring to me. So now she started a garage to more than 40 products sold at drug and beauty supply stores nationally. My background wasn't one of the most would want to be born into those admits, but now I feel like it helped me build the strong person that has the most amount of grit, determination, perseverance, and resistance. Here's what she has to say, what else it takes her to achieve this kind of success. So if she's going to tell us what it takes to achieve success, a multi-millionaire, do you guys think you want to listen to a multi-millionaire tell you what to do to be successful? I think that's pretty wise. So let's see what Miss Dellinger, a multi-million-dollar queen in the beauty industry, natural hair care industry, has to say about what it takes to be successful. She said, number one, plan. Everybody put accounts on plan. Plan, plan, plan. Now that says to me, guys, that don't just wing it. Stop winging it. You're winging it. You're going to wing yourself into poverty. Plan. That's the first thing you said. Is this what it's going to tell you? You're going to have to plan. I know it's not something we really love to do, by the way. It's not something that's super sexy or anything like that. But sure, when it leads you to $1 million, get real sexy real quick. Plan. I don't just leave my job. I didn't just leave my job in corporate America and go and do curls. I did both for too long. I had a full-time income that went home to the family, and then with curls, every cent was reinvested back into the business. Before making the leap, Dellinger advised, know where you're going. Have a strategy. I talk about this exit strategy. Make sure you know the market in and out. Do your research. Plan. So she's saying, hey, I had a home-based business, I had a full-time job, part-time business. She planned her way to success. Here's what I found as I continue to just live this life. Reason why most people are broke is simply because they don't plan to get rich. It's just as simple as that to me. You a lot of times, many times, people are simply broke, and they stay broke because they never ever plan to get rich. Didn't plan it, and because you don't plan, it's like I'll just take what the world gives me. Guess what the world got for you? Not much. Not much. Texas said, "Okay, well, I plan." Another advice that me as a wealthy, multi-million-dollar maven in the beauty industry. That was had a full-time job, part-time business. Took me 15 years to become multi-millionaire. From my part-time business to full-time business. Start smart. Everybody putting guys on start smart. The jump to retail is a scary world. It can take the shirt off your back if it doesn't work. We were one of the original 4 brands that the buyer brought in to test this natural hair care market. Jenna says of her initial test run at 105 Target stores. We were underground back then. We weren't on shelves yet. It was small start though, and it was smart. Start smart. So again, we're hearing advice, recommendations from a multi-millionaire. Might be wise to listen and do, I guess. Number 3 said, keep evolving. I knew you guys see me say that all the time. Evolve and become extinct. You got to keep evolving. You have to continue to evolve or you will dissolve. I say evolve or become extinct. She say evolve or dissolve. Same thing. I might know what I'm talking about, huh? You have to innovate or you will evaporate. Uh-oh. Same thing. I continue to think ahead what's coming next. And it's a gamble because you may develop or deliver something that isn't well received, but it's one of those things you have to do. Staying ahead of the curve. You don't want to see a flat line ever. You don't want to see a flat line ever. Okay? So these are 3 tips, 3 pieces of advice from a multi-million-dollar woman who started 15 years ago. 15. When you know what I say when I see 15 years, I say that's all. That's all. That's all it took to become a multi-millionaire. 15 years. That's all. Shoot. I ain't gonna even be at 65 in 15 years. I'm gonna be way ahead of schedule. 15 years, that's all? That's what I say. Right? MAHISHA Dellinger, again, multi-million-dollar beauty maven, 15 years from home-based business, 15 years from full-time job, part-time business to multi-millionaire in the hair care industry because of curls. I don't know. I'm just a big believer that if she can do it, I can do it. How many guys feel that way? Hey, if she can do it, I can do it. 15 years, that's it. That's all. If she can do it, I can do it. I can do it probably faster. I got more advanced technology now than she did back then. I got a leg up on her because of evolution, technology. Took her 15 years, I can do it in 10. All right. So again, this is our black-owned, our black business spotlight. Ms. MAHISHA Dellinger became a multi-million-dollar beauty maven, 15 years from home-based business to multi-millionaire. Wow. Let's take a look at her brother. Some guys know this guy, Lonnie Johnson. See how I made the what is it? The super soaker. He invented the super soaker, and then they tried to use his stuff, and he got a patent on his stuff, and he sued him and got paid. Right now, I don't know which article I want to read, by the way, because it's the same guy. I think I want to read it out to Forbes. So let's read a little bit about Lonnie Johnson. Lonnie Johnson, this is the brother here again. 670, one of the most powerful toys of all time, Super Soaker water gun, introduced in 1990. Racked up retail sales of more than $1 billion. He developed the toys after hours while working. Look at this. He had developed the toy after hours while working as an engineer for NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory in Pasadena, California. A native of Mobile, Alabama. He went to He went to an all-black high school, earned a master's in nuclear engineering from Tuskegee University, and served in the Air Force, always tinkering with his own inventions on the side. Though he had no experience in the toy industry, he saw the promise of his superpowered water pistol and persuaded executives at Laramie, a company that made knockoff toys, to produce his invention and pay him royalties. And since 1981, he has funded his own, everybody put on my own. He's funded his own Atlanta-based engineering firm, Johnson Research, which has 25 employees and minimal revenue. He's betting a share of his fortune on 2 devices that he believes can revolutionize electrical power generation and storage. He had a little interview, see what he talked about. So this guy is an inventor, and he's investing back into his inventions. He started his own research firm in order to continue to invent. Again, black man, super soaker. How many guys play with that thing? I know I had me at least one. Right? I used to light people up with that thing. What inspired you to be an inventor? As far back as I can remember, I was interested in devices and how they worked. I took everything apart. Let me ask you guys this. As you think back over your life, what have you always been interested in? You see people be talking to me, they be like, I don't know what I'm passionate about. Well, here's a tip. Look over your life and see, what have you always been interested in? Great question to ask, by the way. What have you always been interested in? That's what your passion is something that you always been interested in. I was interested in devices and how they worked. I took everything apart. He said, as far back as I can remember. Some of you guys need to just do that one day. Maybe over the weekend, things slow down. Maybe on a Sunday. Just go as far back as you can remember. And then ask yourself, what have I always been interested in? There's your passion. Okay? Wham, bam, thank you, man. What was one of your earliest inventions? He said, in 1968, when I was in high school, I built a 4-foot-tall remote control robot with pneumatic cylinders that operated his hands. So he was into robotics in 1968. My robot won first place at a science competition at the University of Alabama, where my high school was the only African-American school represented. That was a huge moral victory. He won when he was early, when he was young. Did you want to build a career as an inventor? After I graduated from Tuskegee with a master's in nuclear engineering, the draft was on, and so I signed up for the ROTC. I figured if I had to go into the military, I'd rather go in as an officer. You do any inventing while you were in the military? I worked on nuclear reactors. Wow. And I was doing computer modeling of space launches. I wound up getting offered a job at NASA Jet Propulsion Laboratory, where I invented a power supply mechanism for the Galileo spacecraft, which was in orbit around Jupiter until 2003. My peers at the lab told me I couldn't do that. So it was another moral victory. Everybody putting out some moral victory when I did. I mean, a lot of people tell you that you can't do something, and then when you do it, it becomes a moral victory. I win. Hit that like button, that share button, that invite button. We're talking about black people winning with money. I think this might be important for our community. Do you think race played a role in your colleagues underestimating you? That's the only explanation I can come up with. Who cares? What do you think about the movie Hidden Figures? I thought it was a great movie. It related to ladies because when I was at the Jet Propulsion Laboratory, I was the only African-American on the systems engineering team for Galileo. How did you decide to go into business as an inventor? After the Jet Propulsion Lab, I went back into the military and worked on my inventions on the side, right? I got my first patent in 1979 before I left the Air Force. I called it the digital distance measuring instrument. It used ones and zeros and dots and dashes and a magnifying lens to read binary encoded information from a scale that was photographically reduced. It used the same kind of technology that's used in CDs and DVDs. You invented CD and DVD technology. I call it the big fish that got away. He called it the big fish that got away. Now I wonder, how did it get away? How did it get away? I didn't pursue it. He called it the big fish that got away. How did it get away, Mr. Johnson? I didn't pursue it. Is it possible there's some things that you're letting get away? You're letting some big fish get away because you're not pursuing it. I think Mr. Johnson's trying to tell us in his own words, say, hey, don't be like me. Yeah, you might see me a little bit of success, and yeah, I got an invention and all that good stuff, but he said that's the big fish that got away. He said that my super soaker was a small fish. I let a big fish get away. Don't let a big fish get away because you won't pursue it. Inventing, he said, I was enjoying my day job. Inventing was more of a hobby. I thought that once I got a patent, the world would beat at my path to my door, but nobody knocked. When I realized the technology was being commercialized, it didn't dawn on me that it was something I should pursue. This is called ignorance. You just didn't know. I'm working, doing my thing. This is what I do. This is a hobby. I mean, you guys got a hobby. You got a hobby that could be making you millions. This is why I love reading these stories, man. It's like, hey, you can keep doing what you're doing, or you can learn from these people that have success. They try to tell you, try to give you their words, advice, and wisdom and all that stuff. Wow. He called the CD technology, DVD technology he invented, that he took for granted. He called the big fish that got away. Makes me think, if he made all that money with the Super Soaker, how much money would he made with the DVD CD technology? Wow. How'd you invent the Super Soaker? Well, I was at Jet Propulsion Lab. I was always tinkering. I always worked on a new heat pump that used water instead of a Freon, because Freon is bad for the environment. I experimented with nozzles. With nozzles I made that shot a stream of water across the bathroom, and I thought they'd make a good water gun. I was having trouble getting people to understand the hard science inventions I had, like a heat pump or a digital measuring instrument. I thought the toy was something anyone could look at and appreciate. How much research did you do on the toy industry? I got the idea in 1982, but I didn't work on it until I was back in the military in Omaha and a shop set up in my basement. I had a number of false starts. So he got the idea in 1982, but guess what? He didn't let the idea go. He might not start working on it right away, but he must have wrote that thing down somewhere and said, oh, this is a great idea. I gotta come back to this. Why did you try that? What did you try that didn't work? Initially, I wanted to manufacture it myself. I talked to some companies that could handle that. But when they told me it would cost $200,000 to get the first 1,000 guns off the production line, I figured at $200 each, nobody was going to pay that much for a water gun. I didn't understand that the tooling costs a little bit, but once you got the production line set up, you get the cost way down. I had spent my career in the military, so manufacturing and business were outside my Bollywood, outside of my circle of influence, basically what you just said. Where'd you go from there? In 1970, I launched a successful toy, the Jammin' Jets, powered by compressed air and water that would shoot out the back. It was made of styrofoam and had a 5-foot wingspan. A company called Intertech made it, but an engineer inside the company put the rudder at an angle so the plane would fly in a circle. I tried to convince them not to do that. They manufactured 60,000 planes, spent $1 million in TV advertising, and shipped planes with a design flaw. A kid would take the plane out the box and it would dive and break apart. Did you lose a lot of money on that invention? I lost time, and I didn't get the income I was expecting. Notice how you answer that question. She said, you lose a lot of money. So his first thing said, I lost time. He basically saying my time was way more valuable than the money. I lost time. How'd you find a company to make the Super Soaker? In 1989, I had written letters to companies, including Hasbro, who dismissed the idea. Eventually, I went to the toy fair, and I met a guy in the hallway who said I should talk to the folks at Larami, a small company that made knockoff toys. At the fair, I managed to meet with someone there, and he said, if you're ever in Philadelphia, come and see us, and we'll be happy to talk to you. He said, don't make a special trip. So I went to Philadelphia and waited for over an hour in the reception before I got to see someone. I took the gun out of my suitcase. They asked if it worked. I shot word across the conference room. They turned the prototype into the first Super Soaker. They catch on with customers right away. The first year the gun sold so well, they wanted to expand the product line. It took me a couple of weeks to design a model with 2 bottles that was more efficient. That was the Super Soaker 100. How much money did you make for the Super Soaker? I can tell you that I received royalties on sales, that Super Soaker was the #1 selling toy in the world, and that between 1992 and 1995, it topped $1 billion in sales because of the success of the Super Soaker. Hasbro bought Larami. It's been reported he received $73 million for the settlement of a legal dispute of unpaid royalties from Hasbro. I settled for less than that. There was too much on the table to take a risk. Are you still collecting royalties on Super Soaker? No, the toy is still around, but the patents have expired. Oh, I didn't know patents expired. Okay, so the patents expired. That's something to know. So if you're an inventor or you wrote a book or something, I guess patents can expire. Can IBSNs or whatever you do for books, can they expire? This is good stuff to know if you start looking to protect. Everybody putting also protect your intellectual property. And hindsight, one of the things I learned was the value of the brand. The Super Soaker name was the result of a discussion between myself and the president of Larami. If I understood the value of the brand, I would have put it in my contract, which was just a patent license. If I understood the value of the brand, what's Mr. Johnson trying to teach us right now, guys? Right? Understanding the value of your brand. Wow. He said the value was in the name. Wow. If I would have known then what I know now. And because I know now, I'm going to try to help other people to know what I didn't know when I didn't know now. I wonder if they'll listen. Protect your brand. Did you invent any other toys? I invented high-performance Nerf darts guns that were better than what Hasbro had on the market, and they made a licensing deal with me on those. What are you doing, working on right now? Energy technology. I invented a new type of engine that converts heat directly into electricity with no moving mechanical parts. It's called the Johnson Thermal Electrochemical Converter, the J-Tech. What sort of uses would it have? Anywhere you have an existing engine, you could use the device, converting heat from the sun, converting body heat into electricity, waste heat from machinery. Have you sold it to anyone? No, it's still in the laboratory, but we have several patents. I've talked to NASA about using the device to make their limited supply of plutonium stretch a lot further. One of the applications we're looking at is using body heat to generate electricity. Imagine charging your cell phone from your body. Oh, Lord, when you're running or walking. Well, this brother here, I mean, he's a modern day George Washington Carver, ain't he? Lord, gee. He said, imagine charging your cell phone from your body. What else are you working on? My other inventions are in all ceramic battery. Existing batteries are use liquid electrolytes. My battery uses glass as an electrolyte. We can hold between 2 and 3 times the energy with that a lithium-ion battery can. The idea is that the J-Tech could convert heat from the sun to electricity, and the battery could store the heat until you're ready to use it. Solar power would be one application. You could also use it in nuclear power plants. How are you financing these projects if you have no customers? Revenue from past successes. Everybody put that console. Revenue from the past. This is why you don't spend all your money, billionaires, because you'll have some money stored up to finance your future. He's using his revenue from the past successes to finance his current research and development. My business model is to take on really innovative, high-risk technical projects and solve them and achieve breakthroughs. I want to bring the risk down to a level where it would be tolerable for companies. We own the intellectual property and we're free to make whatever deal we feel is appropriate. How much risk are you taking on personally? The risk is higher than most people would be comfortable with. A lot of what I'm working on wouldn't exist if I didn't have my own resources. Uh-oh, Mr. Johnson. A lot of what I'm working on wouldn't exist if I didn't have my own resources. Now, he didn't say he's borrowing from the bank. He didn't say, he said his own. Now, this, Mr. Johnson, I can respect this, brother. I mean, I can respect this. You're an inventor. You're still working on inventing stuff, making stuff more useful, taking the world to another place in technology, whatever you're doing, and you're doing it off your own resources. See, when you have your own, you don't have to beg, by the way. Let me say that for the people in the back. When you own your own, you don't have to beg. Oh, they won't give me a loan. Oh, redlining. Oh, this, oh, that. When you got your own, you don't have to beg. Now, why are you willing to take on? Why are you willing to do? Why are you willing to do? I don't know what she asked. Why are you willing to take on such a risk? One has to spend life in a meaningful way. It may be a long time before any of my project gets done because it will be a long time before someone else sees what I see. He's a visionary. He's a visionary that's an inventor that is continuing to move along off his own resources. Man, Mr. Johnson, I salute you, brother. I mean, I didn't know all this. I mean, they show a little picture, they might do a little meme, but when we start reading your story and things that you said, I can't do that. I got mad respect for you, brother. Off your own resources, you saved your money, you got paid, you saved your money, and you continue to finance your future. Researching the things that you want to research. Right? Inventing the things that my goodness. He said a cell phone that will charge from your body heat. What? All right, Mr. Johnson. Hey, you got my support, brother. You ever need anything, call me. All right, Mr. Johnson. So that's our I don't know what that was, guys. I figured we'd take a look at that. Super Soaker inventor, Mr. Lonnie Johnson. By the way, his net worth is about $360 million. Right? And I don't know if that wasn't inspiring to you. to know that you can do it. If this wasn't inspiring to you to know 15 years after starting your home-based business that you can do it, if this isn't inspiring to you to say, hey, you know, they're keeping it in the family. This is all the rich people doing. They're passing down businesses to their family. I need to do the same thing. If that doesn't inspire you, if this doesn't inspire you, Mr. William Pickard, he's black-owned. He's a CEO or the founder of the 16th largest black-owned business in the world. That doesn't inspire. I don't know what's going to inspire you. I mean, my goodness. I mean, what's it going to take? I mean, what is it going to take? This is the Black Money and Power Show, by the way. Do a quick little, we're going to do a stock market recap because the stock market was closed yesterday, but I figured I try to go over when he's digging in the Dow. So we'll take a look at, here at the Intel Corporation real quick, and then I'll get up out of here because I got to go talk to the kids. Intel right now is a $51 stock. $51. Year to date, it's up 10% for the year, which means you decide you're going to buy Intel at the beginning of the year, your money will be up 10%. But $100 in, you have $110 right now. Okay? Oh. Been moving up ever since the new year. You know, we had a dip down here, man. Oh, my goodness. Intel, look at this. Oh, my goodness. Intel is a $232 billion company. $232 billion company. And it's only cost you $50 to be a part of a $232 billion company. Think about that for a second. Earnings growth last year up 8%. Earnings growth this year down 1%. Earnings growth for the next 5 years 10%. Revenue growth over the next last year was up 12%. PE, price to book, price sale. We're gonna go over that in our group. Look at this. Bueno, super bueno, Lulu bueno, Ugo boy, Ugo gaga bueno. Okay, annual revenue last year $64.5 billion. The annual profit last year $19.2 billion. That leads to a 29, almost a 30% net profit margin. How many guys like to have that in your business? 30% net profit margin. Oh my goodness. I mean, we lucky we got 5%. He got 30%. Woo Lord. Woo Lord. Here's a forecast, man, from your quote-unquote analyst saying $51 is right about mid-range for what they expect over the next 12 months. I expect a low of 38, a high of 65. Right? A low of 38, a high of 65 for Intel. Let's find out what Intel does. Wow. $232 billion company, $30 billion in net profit. Woo. Woo, I don't even know. I mean, I almost fainted when I saw that. I'll take a look at their website as well. Intel engages in design, manufacture, and sell computer products and technology. It delivers computer, networking, data storage, communication platforms. It operates its business through following segments: client computing group, data center group, Internet of Things group, non-volatile memory solutions group, programmable solutions, and all other. And I'm not going to read all that. The company was founded by Robert Norton Noyce and Gordon Earl Moore in July 18th, 1968. Its headquarters in Santa Clara, California. All right, let's keep going. News and charts we're going to skip. See what the analysts are saying as far as the forecast is concerned. Right now, because they're recommending a hold. They got 15 holds. Got a couple sales, one point underperform. I agree with the hold on Intel. And they're expecting growth to decline over the next 2 quarters, growth to decline over the next 2 years. They're expecting sales to decline over the next 2 quarters and increase slightly over the next 2 years. So they're saying, hey, they had a good year last year. They'll probably be steady Eddie. And we can see that in their stock price, by the way. Financials, let's take a look at where the rubber meets the road, the money. All right, Intel. Look at this. In 2018, this is where that big jump came from. They sold $70.8 billion worth of stuff. Probably a lot has to do with cryptocurrency as well. But $70.8 billion worth of stuff. It cost them only $18.2 billion to actually sell that stuff. And they had $9.1 billion in depreciation of that stuff, bringing them $43.6 billion of gross income. After they pay their bills and they pay all the stuff they got to pay out, their net income, $21.1 billion. Bueno. You see that double up? They went from 10 to they went from 11, 10, 9 to 21. Net profit. Yes, bueno. All right, see bueno. Here's your balance sheet. Here's what they own versus what they owe. We consider this to be assets versus liabilities. Your assets is how much stuff you own. So Intel owns $128 billion worth of stuff. Here's what they owe. Their debts that they owe. liabilities. They owe 53.8, which means if you and I decided we're going to be a part of Intel, we want to invest in Intel, we'll be investing into $74.6 billion worth of equity as shareholders or potential shareholders. Yes, okay. $232 billion company, $74 billion in equity. What else did we say? 30% net profit margin. Pretty good. All right, cash flow statement. Here's what they're doing with this money. Here's what they're doing with the money. So, $21.1 billion was their net income. And they had some depreciation, other cash flow going out. And then they actually did some investing, right? They invested. They didn't do too well with their investing. That investing could be, it could be a gamut of things. As far as financing, they borrowed money to manage their cash flow. They're still down. Still don't really have any cash, according to Forbes, any cash on hand. Okay, so not bad, but not the best, in my opinion. Not bad, but not the best. Now, let's take a look here and see what Nextel is doing. This is their site, and we got this thing called Investor Relations. Only investors come here, by the way. So, Investor Relations for Intel. Financials and filings. Shareholder services. That's real fast. Either financial reports, earnings, results. I'm trying to see if I can find. There we go. Probably up here somewhere. Business outlook. What is it? Here's the investor news. They got a new CEO in January. Look at this. Investor education. What's this? So if you were an investor in Intel, you literally could come here and learn all about these businesses. If you're really into what they do, you can come in here and read and get this. They got an educational system, Internet of Things. Wow. Oh, this is interesting. The Intel Optane memory case of use. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for let's see if they got a dividend. Okay, hold on a second. Corporate info. No. Where would this be at, people? Oh, that's a computer price list. Okay, I don't know. I don't know where it's at. Let's see. Maybe I'll go to dividend then. Let's just do that. Help us try to look and see if we can find it here. I don't know why it's not on their website, but I don't got that kind of time. So Intel, they pay a 2.44% dividend yield. Dividend growth is they've been growing their dividend for the past 4 years. So it's $1.26 annual paid out quarterly. So 126 divided by 4. They pay a 31-cent dividend, almost 32 cents per quarter per share in dividend, which is basically your cash back. When you say dividends, this means that you invest as an investor into Intel. They're going to pay you back out of their profits 32 cents per quarter until that changes for your effort. So that's kind of like we consider to be passive income. That's kind of what we consider that to be. So that is Intel. Any questions? So we've covered today, guys, the 16th largest black-owned business in the world with Black CEO William Pickard. We've also covered, that's William Pickard. We've also covered the Black beauty maven. She went from 15 years, went from home-based business in her garage to multi-millionaire, 15 years. We've covered the Joseph Safra, the 36th richest person on the planet. Right? We've covered Lonnie Johnson. Lonnie Johnson is the inventor of the Super Soaker, who is still doing his work as an inventor, looking for more and more things to bring to the marketplace. And then we have looked at our digging in the Dow. We looked at Intel. That's what we just went over just now. Intel Corporation. Take a look and see what's going on with them. Hey guys, this is going to be our show today. I have got the skedaddle. This is the Black Money and Power Show. In the comments below, share with us something that you learned today. We understand that this is new information for a lot of people, but hey, it's good information. We want to make sure that we're doing a good job of giving you that information. If you feel like we've done a good job, man, hit the like button, the share button, the invite button, the watch party button, all that good stuff. That just shows that just identifies or signifies that you actually are getting value out of what we're doing. What our goal is to reach as many people as possible, to give them a financial education, and particularly to when it comes to investing. Okay, so shows will be different and all that good stuff, but hopefully you got something of value out of today, and then we can look forward to seeing you back here tomorrow. Well, guys, that's right. Plan again. Well, guys, I'm ERGJ, a certified financial educator. I invite you to join the Black Billionaires Club. Why? Because one of the things that we're doing at Black Billionaires Club, we actually are forming a Black-owned investment club. And I think that you want to be a part of that, where you don't have to learn by yourself. You can invest as a group, invest with us, and you can learn with us as well. Well, simply go to www.theblackbillionairesclub.com, www.theblackbillionairesclub.com, and make a decision to become a member today. Remember, guys, if you want to be wealthy, if you have a desire to do that, study wealthy people. Would you guys agree that we just studied some wealthy people? That's right. We just studied some wealthy people. Well, I want you to remember this, that it takes a village, and it starts with us. Let's build wealth together. We all we got, people. But guess what? That's enough. You guys have a fantastic day. Go out there and, as you have set your goals, go out and crush your goals. Until tomorrow, Mr. DJ hits the music.
The new Black Wall Street. Thanks you for joining the show. We gave a lot of great tips, but it's time to go. Take the knowledge we shared, hope you use it and grow. We will see you all there at the next episode of The New Black Wall Street. The New Black Wall Street. The New Black